So I have just finished Tom Felton's Beyond the Wand, The Magic and Mayhem of Growing Up a Wizard. What can I say? First of all, I didn't read the book. I had the audiobook because I'm dyslexic, so I did have the audiobook. And I was listening to it until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I could not turn you off, Tom. You were absolutely brilliant. The way you told a story was fantastic. You were so good. I loved your book. Your book, and this isn't just me saying this as a Harry Potter fan or a fan of yours, your book was brilliant. I wanted to keep listening. I wanted to find out what happened next. You pretty much put your heart on your sleeve for this book and explained things that you had gone through. As a person who, I've met you, I think it was March 2015. I met you as a surprise. We didn't know you were coming at This Morning Studios. And I don't know if I mentioned it. I think I might have. But I literally had just lost my mum 2 months before I met you. And I wasn't expecting such a lovely welcome and to be treated so beautifully by yourself. And you left a really lasting impression in me. Because I was breaking that day. I was breaking that day because my mum wasn't there to see me on one of her favourite daytime shows, let alone meet someone from the Harry Potter cast. And yet you made me feel so welcome. You gave me such a big hug and you made me a cup of tea and you signed my book. I was a little bit older than you and you were just so lovely. And if that had been any other actor, and I've met many actors all across my life. I work with some of them. I'm friends with some of them. But you really did leave a lasting impression on me that day. Out of all the Harry Potter cast I've met, you have been my favourite to interact with. And I was breaking. I was with my baby girl and I couldn't break. I couldn't cry. I wore her robes that day, my mum's robes, because she wasn't there. And you gave me the biggest hug. I just felt so welcome and so comfortable in your presence. And reading your book about your brother who has had some problems. My mum was in a mental home pretty much all of my adult life. She had split personality disorder and she was bipolar. We think she had the start of Alzheimer's, and she had a really tough upbringing. She had a really horrible life, and then she became a mum, and it gave her complete meaning. And she tried very hard to be an amazing mum, and she was an amazing mum, but she also had a lot of problems, and we saw a lot of things we shouldn't have seen. And she was one of my best friends. And when she passed away, it was like losing a piece of me. It was a big shock. It was literally out of the blue. I'd literally spoken to her a couple of hours before and she passed away. And so we didn't know. And then I think it was literally 5 weeks later, I had the message from This Morning to go up there, to be on the show, to talk about this, to talk about collecting. I was really struggling that day and you made me feel so much better, so thank you. Your book was incredible and you really wore your heart on your sleeve. You told us things that maybe you haven't told people. You know, you mentioned a story that you didn't tell your mum. I'm sure she's forgiven you. You know, you turned out to be a pretty decent human being, so I'm sure she's forgiven you. And your mum sounds amazing. My mum was amazing. Your mum sounds amazing. Mums are really precious. Hold on to them forever because they're the only ones you have. I will see my mum again one day, just not for a while. So she's always in my heart. She's always with me. She was a massive Harry Potter fan. If she was still around today, she would have pinched half my collection. Yeah, she would have walked out with half of it. Oh, Morphix, I really like that. Can I have it? No. But no, she probably would have ended up going home with half of it because I'm soft. But I loved it. I loved the way you talked about things, the stories you told. It made me laugh, made me cry, made me angry at some of the things that people were like with you. You know, you're a child actor. I mean, come on now. It's like, why would people be like that? Why would humans be like that? you know, Draco Malfoy is not real. Then stop treating him like he's a real person. You know, your name is Tom Felton, for crying out loud, not Draco Malfoy. Thank you so much for sending me your book though, Tom. I really, really appreciate it. I love the free gifts with it as well. The bath bomb. I had the candle, which smells amazing. And the sorting hat pin. Loved those. And of course I got my signed copy as well. Had to have my signed copy. I haven't read it. It'll stay sealed and stay away. It'll be in its box with the stuff that you sent. I hope we see more stories or read more stories from Tom Felton, because you're brilliant. I love your music and I love listening to you on Instagram. I love your music. You need to release it because it's so good. It's so relaxing. I can just imagine that with there, like all of like anybody like laying there with like pina colada on a beach while somebody with the ukulele is playing away, you know, and then it's you. You mentioned about the surfing. I'll leave that with you, yeah, because I'm like, and fishing. My mum was a massive fishing fan. She'd fish all the time. I can't fish. I can't. I'm useless. I just can't. The smell of fish and everything. Ugh. But you guys enjoy yourselves. And things like surfing and stuff and getting up really early in the morning and go on the beach. I can see why you'd want to do that. Yeah, doing that would be quite nice, but I enjoy my bed way too much to leave it. I'm currently ill, so please forgive me coughing. But yeah, Tom, you did a brilliant job with this book. You really did. It was fantastic. That's not just from a Harry Potter fan, that is from somebody who really genuinely enjoyed. I started reading your book and then I downloaded the audiobook because it was easier for me to have. Absolutely loved it. If you haven't got this book or downloaded the audiobook, then you really need to, because it is fantastic. Not only are there some amazing insights in there to the wizarding world, to filming in the wizarding world, but Tom's story is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I'm trying so hard not to cough, my eyes are watering. Well done, Tom, really proud of you, really, really proud of you. And we can't wait to see what you come up with next. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Want to check out more of my content? Take a look at this video right here or this video right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe.